we thought we would develop a good rubric for my course, and then help use it as a template to help others in the program. So, we knew like this mat is very helpful, this poster is very helpful, but it's still a bit abstract, and we needed to think about how this can translate within our discipline. And also we needed to make sure that what we're trying to achieve here actually meets our accreditation requirements, because we've got this one document which is a competency framework which students are supposed to develop to gain clinical competencies and work skills and stuff like that. So then I started thinking about how to actually go about developing the rubric. And I thought I'd just start off with a pentagon, because the pentagon is very user-friendly, I suppose. And also I needed to clarify in my head first what I wanted to achieve within that course or within that assessment. So my assessment was about problem solving to arrive at a clinical diagnosis. So once I knew that, I started, so with the pentagon. And also I started looking at the specific, the nature of the affective components here. And because, it's in healthcare, it's a very caring profession. So there's a lot of empathy involved, or rather people need to demonstrate empathy towards patients. So that was where we started. And as you can see here, then I started coming up with what are the things I'd actually like my students to learn. So you can see this is a very messy, scribbly pentagon here. So I started off using this, and then I just kept adding on to it. So this went through several iterations here. As you can see, that's another one there. And in terms of, maybe clarifying what the diagnosis has been sent for, go and obtain information, how do you go about getting history, scanning techniques, methods, and so on and so forth. So all the different steps involved in arriving at the diagnosis, I wanted people to demonstrate that. I wanted our students to demonstrate that they're actually able to do all of this, and also think critically and with a research mindedness, I suppose, within the sonography discipline. So then once I started populating this then kind of gave me a bit of a guideline as to how my rubric would look like. So then, and also I needed to get a buy-in from the students, because this is something new, we are introducing the program. So then I wrote a bit of a background as to what a sonographer is expected to learn and do, and I quoted the competency standards as I showed you in this document here. And then I said, look, as a sonographer, you're expected to be a highly skilled individual and so on, with details of what attributes are expected from them. And then so this particular assignment is actually a case study. So the case study, they have to develop a poster, and it has to be done online because it's an external program. So everything is developed online. They can include videos, voiceovers, whatever, and it has to be uploaded in the e-portfolio. And so they need to demonstrate a whole lot of skills in terms of technology and technique as well. But also their thinking needs to be demonstrated within that. So then using this pentagon, I then pulled out all the bits which fit within embark and clarify. So for example, embark and clarify, I would say plan an approach to a scan relevant to the clinical scenario. I made it very discipline specific, or rather to that course, specific to the course. And we provided resources as well, and then that's the kind of rubric which we came up with. And you can see this is a rubric development in process with some more scribbles here. So once we developed this rubric, I then shared it with my team and got them to critique it and pull it apart. And so we had a couple of program meetings where everyone came and very generously provided feedback, because it was only going to help all of us make better rubrics. So then once we got a final version ready, that then became much easier for the rest of them. So then I just handed it over, and then people could then go and make their own rubrics based on what they were there. And of course, help is always available. So we made use of our learning advisors and academic developers just to make sure that it reads well and it makes sense. And it's still work in progress, because once we introduced it last semester, and then now we've found that there's some things which need to be tweaked. So this semester we've tweaked a few more things with the rubric.